Irving Game of the Week is brought to you in part by Gerald Stavely Dry Cleaning.
From the shipyard, it's the ICTN Game of the Week. Boys High School Baseball, District 9 6A. MacArthur Cardinals against the Nimitz Vikings. Hi, everybody. Rob Willman with you. And tonight, Dan Justris will join us in just a moment to talk about tonight's big game. And it is the last regular season game. It's also senior night for Irving Nimitz, and they have a host of seniors that we'll talk about later. Their dads got to throw out the first pitch tonight. Really nice. Let's kind of set the stage and talk, first of all, about the district standings in 9-6A. You got Jesuit, a perfect 13-0. Nimitz was second place, all locked up, but here comes the subplot, if you will, W.T. White and MacArthur. MacArthur hoping for a win to put them in third. White will try to win themselves so they can have that important third spot, because fourth place, you have to play Highland Park. And that's going to be a tough order indeed. We'll bring in my cohort tonight, Dan, who is a former head coach at North Lake and also athletic director there for many years. And as a coach, you look into this game tonight and kind of set the stage a little bit. You've got Nimitz, who really, you want to beat your crosstown rival, but it's not quite as important as if you're MacArthur.
Yeah, thank you, Rob. It's great to be here with you. And, both teams, it's real important for both teams because you want to go into the playoffs on a winning note. It's hard to turn the switch on and off. And, if you're Nimitz and you're the head coach, for Nimitz, you're trying to keep your players up and say, hey, let's get in there. Let's battle. Let's keep this momentum driving. And, again, for MacArthur, so you don't have to play Highland Park, this is a big game for you.
Yeah, it is indeed. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for the Redbirds of MacArthur, the visitors. You have Logan Austin leading things off, followed by Daniel Hernandez, Jake Lyons, Levi Horn batting cleanup, Alan Griffin in the 5 spot, Felipe Garcia, Hunter Watkins, Marcus Hudson batting 8th, and Evan Baruder playing center field and batting 9th. It'll be the first time that we see Daniel Weatherford, the starting pitcher for the Nimitz Vikings. There he is, the big, tall, lanky left-hander, one of those seniors, one of 9 seniors on this team that was introduced before the game got started. They're in their white uniforms, and defensively behind Weatherford tonight, you got Gonzalez in left, Reagan in center, Buffington in right. You've got Carrasco at first, Garcia at second, Brendan Williams at short, Balfonts at third, Braden Williams behind the plate, and Weatherford is your starting pitcher, and he will face Logan Austin, the shortstop, who packs a pretty good punch, and the first pitch is a called strike. It's been a good crowd all year for Nimitz. They always bring out the good crowds, and of course, anytime you play a rival like this, you also kind of double the enthusiasm a little bit, as I believe that might have been just a one pitch for the senior and done, and it is. Weatherford gets the called strike. That was just for his benefit for Coach Mendoza. And now Brandon Ross, who is the number 2 pitcher for this team, he will come out and be pitching the rest. And hey, he comes out with 1 strike if they put it on the board. You ever do that, Coach?
No, never had the opportunity to do anything like that.
Well, Brandon Ross is 4-1. He's got a 1.87 ERA, 38 strikeouts, and only 8 walks. I mean, between him and Braden Williams, it's a great 1-2 punch for this Viking pitching staff. Between the two, they've got 82 strikeouts registered this season. Both teams really, with good pitchers. MacArthur has a couple of good pitchers themselves, and Jake Lyons and Logan Austin. The problem with MacArthur is the fact that they just cannot get any runs on the board. And that's come back to bite them quite often so far this year. So, okay, the warm-ups by Ross. He comes out And with an 0-1 toss, bounced in the dirt, and Braden Williams with the scoop. Well, obviously Ross has been warming up, so it's not like he's coming out cold, Coach.
I tell you, with that 1.87 ERA, that's really impressive.
Pretty salty indeed. Next pitch, fastball right at the knees, and a called strike. Not much wind out there, so that's really not going to play much of a role to get it up in the O zone, because the flag is pretty much not even waving. You can barely see it. And the 1-2 offering, a slow roller. Brendan Williams at short, runs, throws, and they got him by a step.
It's a good play by the shortstop. Came up, run right through the ball. Just what you taught to do.
That's why you take infield about 1 billion times a day, right?
You got it.
So with one down, that'll bring up Daniel Hernandez, the DH. The lefty batting .250.
Now batting number 2, Daniel Hernandez.
About 4th on this team in batting average. As a team, MacArthur batting about .255. There's a fastball right on the outside corner for a called strike. And there's Old Glory in center field, and she's not moving too much tonight. Not much of any wind whatsoever. And the 0-1 by Ross, a little breaking ball, fouled right back. Hopefully you didn't park your car in
yes, I did.
in the zone. Did you? Did you not even dawn on it? Did you?
Nope.
Waco Midway, I learned a valuable lesson when it hit the side of our SUV. I'll never do that again. Fastball really high at that time by Ross. As we said, Ross only 8 walks so far this season. Locked down that number 2 spot, hoping to go past 1 round in postseason. Swung on a miss. And there's 2 down.
Good fastball up in the zone.
I guess if you got it, you don't mind challenging him, huh?
That's exactly right.
Ball gets away from the infield as they do their tosses after the strikeouts. Ever bother you? You ever yell at your kids when they can't throw it around the horn?
Yeah, we did that a couple times, and we just throw it right back to the pitcher.
That was it, right?
That was it.
No more. This is Jake Lyons, starting pitcher. And the big lefty stands in. Looks at that one for a ball. Lyons batting almost .350. As a team, MacArthur still looking for their first home run. Another fastball. I'll tell you, Ross is throwing some heat here in the first inning. You know, one of these days they're going to put a radar gun on your phone. You know, everything else is on your phone, right?
It's not far off, I can tell you that.
Just point the phone at the pitcher. We'll come up with our own miles per hour. A heater again finds the strike zone. Lions taking all the way. As you take a look at the head coach, Kanan, down at third. You know his dad pretty well, don't you?
Yeah, we coached together, and at the same time frame. He was at MacArthur, and I was over there at North Lake, and he used to send me a lot of his guys.
Yeah, that's all of about, what, a mile apart from each other?
Yes, sure was.
That was a strike call. Lions now is even 2-2. Asking the umpire for time, and now he's ready. And the 2-2 offering popped up and behind us. Field in pretty good shape. Infield, like they do before all the games, they just moistened it down a little bit.
Yeah, it looked really good.
We didn't see that usual junior varsity games that we usually see beforehand tonight. Kind of helps spare the grass in the infield a little bit. Hit well, but down the line foul as Lions got around on that one.
Hi, I'm really surprised that MacArthur hasn't even hit a home run the whole year. You usually just don't see that.
Sometimes you get in a funk, right?
Yeah.
JV games being played on the other end of town tonight, and there's a liner to the second baseman, and Garcia gets it right off the shoe tops, and it's 3 up, 3 down for Ross with a 1-strike assist from Daniel Weatherford. Watch it again, Coach.
Yeah, got a good little jump on it. They got his glove underneath it before it hit the ground. And that retires the sides.
For Garcia, it's one of those, do I charge it or do I let it just bounce in front of me? And luckily for him, it held up in the air long enough to make the grab defensively. Nimitz, they defeated MacArthur 5-0 earlier this week. The line, 5 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. MacArthur had no runs on just 2 hits and had 2 mistakes. Williams, the winning pitcher, and Austin was the losing pitcher for MacArthur. But MacArthur has 2 really good pitchers, and they have done really well pitching-wise this year, but they just can't get the support run-wise. As Jake Lyons takes his toss, he's got a 1.62 ERA, has struck out 82, walked 16, 6-2 on the year, 52 innings pitched. We've seen him earlier this year pitch a really good game against Irving. And we'll take a look at the starting lineups in the batting order for the Vikings. Braden Williams will lead things off, followed by Garcia, the second baseman, Josh Reagan, Andrew Torres, the DH, Rico Carrasco batting after Torres, then Balfonte, Gonzalez, Buffington, and Williams, your starting 9 for the Nimitz Vikings, facing Jake Lyons. Defensively, Tanner Franco in right, Baruder in center, Hudson in left, Garcia at first, Watkins at second, Austin at short, Griffin at third. Horn is your catcher. And again, the tall, lanky right-hander, Jake Lyons, your starting pitcher to face Braden Williams, one of those seniors we talked about. How many times did you have a catcher leading off in the batting order, Coach?
Well, usually, they're not the swiftest foot, so, you try to get them down a little bit. They usually got a little bit of power on them, so not too many times.
Well, he got all of that one going into right center. As Baruder got a good jump on it.
Nice catch. That was a good one. Good first step.
Yeah, that's kind of the key, isn't it, defensively?
Good first step.
Now batting the second baseman, Saul Garcia.
So Garcia steps in to the hole here. Garcia is not one of their, as far as batting percentage is, hitter. He's a guy that gets up there just to make contact, and oftentimes he's there to push the runner across because Braden will get on board. And there's a called strike on the outside corner.
That's a great thing to have when you got a guy who can just push the ball all over and get that guy in the scoring position.
That was swung on and missed by the second baseman. The third baseman is Griffin in a little bit, so now he backs up since there's 2 strikes on Garcia. Lyons comes hard and fast, and it's on the outside corner, and it's 1-2. If I remember in that game against Irving, what I like so much about Lyons is he doesn't take a lot of time between pitches. He'll get the ball back, and he'll be ready to rock and fire again. The Fergie Jenkins complex there. Give me the ball and let me throw it again. Well, the Cardinals in a must-win tonight, and then they got to hope that the Irving Tigers, as that is swung on and missed, can defeat W.T. White. I think really it's going to be harder for Irving to beat White than it will be for MacArthur to beat Nimitz. And Irving won the first of 2, so that would really be something if the Tigers could put 2 in a row together. That'll bring up Reagan. Coach, this is probably the first time you've seen Josh bat, and he's got a really good swing. Some of these guys just kind of have a natural type swing, and Josh is one of them when he gets there in the box.
He looks like he's short, compact. Boy, it looks like he can really do it.
And he's outside, and Lyons, I think, a little careful with how he bats. Going to Dallas Baptist.
The Patriots.
7 home runs, 23 RBIs. Swung and a missed. He was going for the fence there. 1-2, 2 gone. We're in the bottom of the first.
Oh, Stay away from him.
And there's another base hit. Ho hum, he just, makes contact.
Yeah.
They're going to send him to second. Stand-up double, Reagan. That's what the guy does. He just hits it where they're not. Lions tried to keep it away, and what did he do? He just pushed it to right, Coach.
Yeah, see, I think they had him on the outside corner, and he missed up and in, and he sort of inside the ball out. Boy, he went right with it.
He got jammed, but good hitters can do that.
You bet.
So this will bring up Andrew Torres, a senior, the DH. With 2 outs. Again, Nimitz not afraid to run. That's a called strike on the outside corner.
Jacob looks like he's always ahead of the hitters, which makes a good pitcher because he's ahead constantly. Looks like
he has been so far here. Little pickoff move to second. Barely trickles past the shortstop, Austin, who is trying to cover. Not enough for Reagan to take off. And we'll reload with Torres deep in the batter's box. Second baseman inching in a little bit just to the left of your screen there. And it's the inside corner. And it's 0-2. Again, Lions with the delivery and fouled off to the right. So Torres, even though he's down 0-2, making Lions work a little bit here in the bottom of the first. I asked Coach Kanan before the ball game, I said, well, you going to bring your sticks out tonight? And he says, this as long as you score more than they do.
That's what you're hoping for, let me tell you.
That's coach speak, Coach.
Yes, it is.
Lions just trying to think of Reagan. There's 2 outs. Do you really need to care about that runner at second?
Well, again, you don't want him to get all the way over because anything can happen when you get on third. There he goes.
Yep, he's going, and they don't have a chance. Horn had a hard time throwing over Torres, who just stayed right there in the box, and now Reagan's at third.
Okay, now a pass ball, wild pitch,
Error.
You got to run. So it's important, but you got to make sure you get that third base and not get thrown out. It's got to be 100%.
1-2 offering, swung on a missed.
Good curveball.
Yep, 2 strikeouts in the inning for Lions. And we have finished 1 complete. No score as we head to the top of inning number 2. Horn, Griffin, Garcia. Your scheduled 3 for MacArthur. MacArthur started the season with a split against the Longhorns of White. One of many shutouts. They've won games by shutting people out, but they've also lost 4 in district with not scoring a run. And you've got to have that run support. On the other hand, Nimitz, pretty consistent. They put a lot of runs on the board. They tied once. That was against the Longhorns. There are only 2 blemishes to the Jesuit Rangers, and that's nothing to hang your head about because Jesuit is a very good team, number 2 in the Metroplex, with like 3 of the top 15 pitchers, statistic-wise, in the Metroplex. So it'll be interesting to see how far they go in postseason.
Rob, you're speaking about, MacArthur's pitching. They got good pitching with little hitting. Well, that puts a lot of pressure on those pitchers because they know if they don't keep it close, their chances of winning diminish, a lot there. And so, it puts a little added pressure on your, on your staff. But as coaches would say, you may need to manufacture some runs as a bunting once they get over and, try to get people over in scoring position.
Scratch and claw and do whatever you can just to get that one.
Oh, that's
small ball.
Small ball, that's exactly right.
All right, Levi Horn, the catcher, will lead things off here. Levi batting .281. Played in all 23 games. Steady player for these Redbirds, who as a school have really had a great season, athletic season, with both the boys and the girls in basketball, the football team in postseason, and now the softball team and the baseball team going to postseason. Later we'll talk about the Lance Brown Athlete of the Year. We have the boys and the girls edition, and then we have the Bob Berry team, which I kind of gave it away, who has done so well in the city as far as on all sports all around school. That is low and away. Brandon Ross came in after one pitch. Daniel Weatherford, the senior, with the ceremonial one pitch as a senior, getting to start in theory, and then Brandon Ross came in immediately after that first pitch, behind 3-0, and that is a called strike. Brandon has only walked 8 all year, so you know he's got great control. Like you said, you don't want to dig yourself a hole and give up a runner at first. And that is a called strike right on the outside. I laughed somewhat because it looked like it was more than. Did he paint the corner? Here's the replay, Coach.
There it is. The catcher. I think the catcher got him something. Got him one there.
And that is ball 4. So Horn gets the walk eventually. And now Alan Griffin, the third baseman, steps up. They have a courtesy runner. Number 12, Nunez, Isaiah Nunez, now over at first.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bunting action going here if they're having problems here, scoring some runs here, getting somebody in scoring position.
Well, I know that Braden Williams will be ready. Braden's a pitcher, so he's got a great arm behind the plate. Fastball right down the pipe for a called strike. How many times have you had a pitcher that gives up a walk and all of a sudden it just kind of sets him on fire? And
yeah, you know, it just irks you when you walk somebody and you know you're better than that. And
throw down to first. Had the runner leaning a little bit, but Carrasco had to go way to his left to field that throw from Braden Williams. That gave Nunez plenty of time to get back to first. I like the look they're throwing down here tonight with the stirrups and the pants.
Yeah.
A little throwback.
A little throwback.
And the 1-1 offering. Bunt. Nice down the first base side. Carrasco really didn't tag him, but he went out of the baseline anyway, so that was the sacrifice. And Nunez goes to second.
Very good bunt. Made that first baseman come up and get it. Being right-handed, he had to make the turn all the way around to throw to second, so he just tagged him out and did his job.
So Nunez is at second. So bring up Felipe Garcia with the runner on. Only one out, top of the second, fastball high. About to the batting top of his batting helmet there. Felipe batting .256, 6 RBI. All of his hits this year, he's got 11 of them, have all been singles. Still looking for his first extra base hit. That's out in the dirt. Take a look at Garcia there as he gets the call from his coach, and Nunez getting the lead off there at second. And Garcia calls time. Maybe trying to get into the head of Ross.
Slow him down a little bit.
Yeah, maybe he just wasn't patient. Pickoff move. Whew, almost gets past Williams. I don't know how he grabbed it. At first I thought that was destined for center field. Watch again.
Yeah, he did reach up there and get that thing. Good
pitch. Right on the outside corner, 2-1. So just when you think Ross is about to lose it, he'll surprise you and come back with another strike. And he has thrown a lot of pitches here in the second. 2-1. Runner moving on the pitch. 2-1. It's one of those counts you like to run on, isn't it?
You bet, because most likely you're getting fastball. Because he doesn't want to go 3-1, so.
Any other counts that's almost an automatic run if you've got the guy to run? Any others you can think of?
Well, you know, like 2-0, 3-0, you know, you're going to get a fastball if you're running.
If you're a running team,
yeah.
Right? That is fouled out of play, and it's 2-2. Evens the count for Mr. Ross, and he just takes a few steps off the mound. Looks like he was talking to Williams, his shortstop. Either that or just trying to take a deep breath and come with a fastball. No, he went with the curve,
and he got him.
The dreaded backwards K. And so there are 2 down. That really looked outside from here, though. Maybe when the breaking pitch, it came across, and then by the time it got to the mitt, let's watch again. He's calling him on the outside, really outside. He's a little liberal on the outside.
A little liberal, yes. But as long as he stays there, the pitchers and the hitters know that.
Right.
Hitters can adjust.
Yep. All you ask is be consistent, right?
That's it.
So 2 down, and Hunter Watkins, the second baseman, the lefty up. Throw down to second. I think they got him. Oh, Nelly.
Oh, boy.
Well, I said the catcher, Braden Williams, has got a gun.
You called it.
Yep. And watch again.
Look at that.
Here come the shortstop covering, and he kind of hit that ground and really didn't slide very well. He kind of hit it and stopped. You watch his legs almost went over him. He didn't have a lot of give there, but what do you tell a runner like that, Coach, after that little faux pas?
Well, first of all, you tell him, say, number 1, we need you to score. Number 2, be careful out there. You know, it's going to take a base hit to get you in anyway. So, you know, you don't want to make the third out getting picked off at second, and you don't want to be the third out at third base either. So you're not going anywhere.
Well, let's talk about our Player of the Year awards. We'll start on the female side. We pick up our Lance Brown Player of the Year with Crystal Okiki from Irving. She was the Hitter of the Year in District 9 6A volleyball, as you can see right there. Helped lead the Lady Tigers to their first district title since 1974 and their first playoff appearance in over 5 years. Then she followed that up by earning all district honors for the basketball team, averaging over 12 points a game. Team's top rebounder with nearly 10 a game. Led the squad with 11 double-doubles. Forced in the middle, had 24 blocks, and was second on the team in steals with 60. Congratulations to Crystal Okiki, our Lance Brown Girls Player of the Year for 2014-2015. She's going to go to Austin this fall to attend UT and maybe walk on for the Lady Longhorns. So congratulations to Crystal. She's played, I think she was a freshman. It seems like every year you're calling out Okiki's name.
Wow.
But congratulations to her. We'll have the guy's side of the coin later on in the ball game. As we go to the bottom of the second, scoreless as Rico Carrasco, the first baseman, steps up. And he pops that one up to the shortstop. Austin says, I've got it. And he one-hands it for the putout. Nimitz Vikings, of course, have already clinched a playoff spot. And it's been a good year for Robert Mendoza in his fourth season at Nimitz, 55-34-4. Played at Wayland Baptist, fourth highest career RBI total in school history. played professional for El Paso, Sioux City, and San Angelo in the American Association, and the first coach to take the Vikings to the playoffs in back-to-back seasons. And there's a good shot, don't want to jinx them, that they can break that drought and go past the first round once postseason play starts. Congratulations to the Vikings. Facing Jake Lyons, he's a tough one, and that is fouled back. Foul fence, the third baseman stepping in. He'll be followed by Gonzalez. Swung on and missed by Balfance, and there is 1-2 down now. Got us a little pitcher's duel going on here, Coach.
Boy, I tell you, Jake, he really works that outside, middle and outside part of the plate real well.
Both pitchers throw extremely hard. It's not like one's going to finesse you or junk you out of the other. They both bring the heat. So David Gonzalez steps in. Gonzalez in the 7th spot, choking up on the bat and swings late on a Jake Lyons fastball. Another strike.
I got a feeling he's going to come right back with another fastball.
You don't think he'll make him chase a curveball? He thought he had strike 3 right there, didn't he? Looked like it was over the plate. Maybe it was below the knees. You be the umpire? Yeah,
a
low.
little low.
Yep. 1-2 offering. He just had to fight that one off. It's not like Jake has given the batters a lot to hit. He'll come fast and hard down the middle or try to jam you a little bit, but his breaking pitches have all been outside. I like that one. Another strikeout. So he's got 4 on the night. And we have finished 2 innings of baseball. No score. Back with the 3rd inning in a moment. And welcome back, everyone. A good crowd tonight. You see some of the Nimitz faithful there in the dark blue. That's from center field and right behind home plate. And then as you work your way to the left, it changes colors to red. So it's about 1/3 MacArthur, 2/3 Viking faithful. As we head to the 3rd, in the bottom 3rd of the order, Watkins, Hudson, Baruder for MacArthur. I'm trying to figure out in my head if, you know, you're the coach right now and you're sending your kids up there to hit, and they're both so well. I guess if I'm the Vikings, I'm like, if anything is near that outside, you better swing. And for MacArthur, how would you tell your kids to hit?
I'd say make sure the ball is below your neck. Don't be swinging anything up high.
That's a called strike. And it's 2-1. Ross has already 2 strikeouts. He's walked 1, but he has been 3-0, 2-1 on his counts. That is fouled back. Headed where my car is. Please don't hit it. Count is even at 2 apiece. Vikings in 2000, first time they made the postseason. That was a nice pitch on the outside corner. That's legit.
Sure was.
2nd strikeout in a row where the batter has been caught looking. Marcus Hudson, the left fielder, wearing number 13, steps in.
Now having number 13, Marcus Hudson.
Hudson looking to get aboard. It was senior night tonight, so it was kind of cool. The dads threw out the first pitch and the coach. Part of the game you said you kind of miss?
Yeah, it brings the fans out a little bit more, you're a little bit closer.
Strike called. Yeah, it's really entertaining because, you know, when they're T-ball age, everybody, aunts, uncles, cousins, you know, third uncle from the second cousin, whatever, you know, is out there watching them play. By the time they get to college, that's swung on a miss. By the time they get to college, you're lucky to get one of the two parents to come out and watch.
That's exactly right.
It's funny how that works. And the 1-2 off for him. That's just too far outside for even the home plate umpire to call. But Ross is thinking right.
I'd be out there.
I'd go right back in the general direction, just to get a little closer. Pops out of the mitt. Low on the ground, and the count is now full at 3-2. The way things are going right now, it could be a 1-0, 2-1 game when this thing is said and done, if the pitchers continue their pace. Brandon's payoff pitch, swung on a miss, another strikeout, third strikeout in a row for Ross. 4 now. And the number 9 hitter, Evan Baruder, steps up with 2 out, no one on. Here on the top of inning number 3 on a beautiful night in Irving, Texas.
If you're a fan of fastballs, you need to be out here.
That's right. In wide strike zones. Although that last one looked pretty good. Baruder waits for the curveball. That's high and away. Time of year where college baseball teams start to position themselves for conference tournaments, and then they get ready for those postseason accolades and the super regionals.
It's right on the corner.
Fastball away, and it's now, remember what I talked about Ross earlier, how every now and then he'll get behind on the count?
Yep.
You ever been to Omaha?
Never been there, but I heard it's great.
That's what I hear. Fastball right in there for a strike, and it's 3-1. You know, I've seen just pictures of downtown, and, you know, just the city itself, Omaha has a little character to it and charm. Another strike, and here's Ross again. Every time he gets behind on the count, somehow he just comes up with what it takes to fill the count. Baruder trying to get on board, being patient at the plate. Strike 3 called, he strikes out the side. That is 4 strikeouts in a row for Brandon Ross. And we go to the bottom of the third. Still no score. Pitchers going toe for toe. 4 strikeouts for both sides. And it's the bottom of the third and the bottom part of the order for the Vikings with Buffington Williams, Brendan Williams, the shortstop. And then we go to the top of the order and Braden Williams. So this is what I like to look for is, okay, once you get everybody through once, everybody's had a chance to kind of see how the coaches, you know, the pitchers are tossing, and the coaches have a chance to kind of get in the ears of their batters and let them know how they should approach it the next time they get up.
All right. You may see a couple more bunts going down, or fake bunts, or drawing some of the corner infielders in, so in case they hit the ball a little bit hard to get them past, just something to get those runners on base.
Standing-wise, coming into tonight's game, this is how the seeding is so far in the district that they will face. No one wants HP, and that's what's going to happen to Mac if they don't win tonight and get some help from Irving. Got Horn, Pierce, Mesquite, so that means Nimitz will face Pierce, the Mustangs. But Highland Park are a very good team. So here we go with Buffington to lead things off in a grounder to Austin. He has a strong arm and gets him by a step.
Nice play going to his right.
We talked about the fact that Braden Williams is a pitcher and does catching, but most of the time you see pitchers when they're not pitching, they're doing like this here at short. They're playing short.
Well, they say that's your best. They say that's your best player, your shortstop pitcher in high school, and you know who your best player is, and he goes right there.
Automatically. Oh, hit down the line, but foul. As Brendan Williams, he guessed that one right, but got around on it way too fast. Took off in a hurry, didn't it?
Yeah, he was out in front of that one.
Low in the dirt. Brendan batting .320. Not bad for the number 9 spot, huh?
Coaches love those big numbers on the bottom there.
2 balls and a strike, 1 down. Center fielder Baruder kind of halfway in. That's low in the dirt, and now it's 3-1. Lyons yet to walk anyone, and he really hasn't pitched behind so far in this game. He's been the head of the hitters almost practically every batter. And that's going to be a strike on the outside corner. So Lyons fills the count at 3-2. Brendan's brother Braden on deck, hoping his younger brother can get on board. Stays alive. You know, in the pros, you see the pitcher change the ball about every 3rd batter. High school, not so much. That is ball 4. So Brendan gets aboard, only the 2nd runner for the Vikings in the ball game. We go to the top of the order, and Braden, who flied out to center. If you recall, Baruder really had to get on his horse and go out in the gap in right center to flag down Braden's fly ball. He got a lefty up there. That's good to have.
Yeah, it protects that guy at first. I think Coach Robert Mendoza may get the wheels going here.
Fastball outside, called strike. Williams looking at his coach. About 5 guys on this team with 10 steals already this year. Oh, I think they got him, and they did.
I think he slipped going back. Right?
He did. You recall earlier in this ball game when Nunez got picked off second. Remember we talked about him not being able to slide all the way? Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
He just, when he went to turn to go to first, he jammed himself a little bit in the dirt. And that's all it took.
That's it.
One little hiccup. So now the bases are empty, and there's 2 outs. If I'm Jake Lyons, I'm very careful with Braden because with 2 outs, you've got Garcia up. Maybe not quite as hard of an out as Braden is up there right now. Well, we've seen a pick-off on each side tonight. Only 1 base hit, and that was Reagan's double back in the 1st. Right up the middle, hits the mound. Austin may have time. And he does. Well, Lyon says thank you, pitching mound, very much for that. Watch this again, Coach.
Right off the mound, right off the rubber in the mound.
I don't know if he hit the back of his heel or not, but it got right to Austin. And what's that? Better be lucky than good?
You always want to have luck. I don't care who you are. You got to rather be lucky sometimes, and it really helps.
Just like that, we go to the 4th inning. So we've had one pick-off tonight by the pitcher. We've had an out where the catcher's gunned him down at second base that Nimitz defensively have come up with. So we've had really good pitching, good defense. And just like that, we've breezed through 3 innings of baseball as Brandon Ross goes to the hill. Take a look at what old Mr. Ross has done in this ball game. What has he done? Well, he's only struck out 5 batters, 1 looking. Got a guy swinging there, and then he gets about 3 out of the next 4 looking. That was a good one right at the knees.
His fastball is really lively tonight. It's exploding when it gets to the batter.
I would say the only thing against him is that he's fallen behind on the count a few times, and he's had to play catch-up, but luckily he's been able to get away with that.
Yeah, he threw 16 pitches last inning, so, we'll see what he does here. You start getting up in that pitch count, the ball tends to start staying up more and get a little tired, and you're not long for that mound out there.
Senior night, and really a senior-laden team on this Viking team with about 9. You go on the flip side of this, and MacArthur, they have 12 freshmen and sophomores on the roster, so they're up-and-comers. A lot of fresh faces that you use this kind of season as a learning experience and wait for those guys to mature a little bit and come back even stronger. We go to the top of the order, and Logan Austin. Logan, it's a high one down the right field line. Could be trouble. Second baseman running over and can't get to it, but it's foul. As Garcia gave chase and Buffington, the right fielder, came in. Buffington was playing a little deep there in right field. It's kind of the right field porch, if you will. 300 down the right field line, and then it comes out about 20 feet to 320 in the gap into right center. But you've got a tall wall, and we've seen a lot of players go yard here at the Shipyard by just getting under it. Austin fouls that one off as well, but you notice, Coach, both of those, at least the last pitch, kind of way outside, but he was swinging at it, something if he's been watching, he knows he's got to do.
Either that or the coach is saying, you make sure if you can reach it, go get it.
Grounder to third. Balfance gets him. And there's one down. Also, I don't know if you noticed how close he was on that batter's box on the line, crowding the plate so he could reach over for an outside pitch.
I've been noticing the MacArthur hitters, they have been closer to that line as close as they can get out there.
Inching over a little bit to compensate, right?
Yep.
Daniel Hernandez, one of the 5 strikeout victims, the DH, looks at a fastball high and tight. Also a little adjustment on Ross's part when a lefty comes up there. He throws kind of tight to the lefties and away from the righties. Strike called, and the count is even at 1 apiece. Vikings last year took it to the length of the series. It's the best 2 out of 3, and they played Coppell for that 3rd game. The tiebreaker over in Grand Prairie. Losing that one. Coppell had a really good pitching staff, but when you come over here to the Shipyard, things kind of even out, have a tendency to even out, especially with those dimensions in right field. You know, the city of Irving, maybe not Irving High School, but that is fouled back. MacArthur, you know, their softball field and their baseball field, you know, they're built right there by a subdivision. So you've got part of your outfield fence or first baseline is the case for the Lady Cards, you know, with houses right behind it. It's kind of the nature of the beast.
Yeah, when you run out of
real estate.
Yeah.
Balfance, he's got a long throw to first.
Oh.
Is that a base hit, Coach?
Yeah. You know, I mean, that's a tough play. It's a do-or-die play.
He just nubbed it. He was just protecting the inside part of the plate, an in-out swing, and Balfance couldn't Now we'll give him a single. So there's a runner on with one down, and now here comes Jake Lyons, the pitcher. Runner's moving. Good throw down to second.
What a throw.
Man, twice now Braden has caught a runner, and I mean, the shortstop, his brother, had to wait, have a sandwich before that got there.
I tell you, kid's got a good arm back there.
I wonder if it's a hit and run. See how he
It was a hit and run. He just waited too long.
He might have been. They kind of gave him that because the ball was there so soon, but I don't know if he was really, if you want to be picky about out at second.
The batter just tried to hold the catcher back as much as possible.
Inside, way inside. Lyons is like, I can't get even because Ross doesn't hit. 2-1 to the big lefty. Swung on a miss. Jake has 6 doubles this year. And that is hit well to right, but foul. Got a round on it as well. Each team with a pretty good swing, but both times they were way out in front of it. It carries, it seems. Maybe that's just a byproduct of right field being so close, but it seems like it gets there in a hurry.
Little Fenway out there in right field.
Deuces are wild, and he goes after a bad pitch. Throw down to first, another strikeout. Strikeout number 6 now for Ross. And just like that, we go to the bottom of the 4th. MacArthur kind of running themselves out of a couple of innings. But Nimitz really hasn't done much either. With one base runner, Reagan made it all the way to third after a double, then he stole a base. It's been their only hit. And as we go to the bottom of the 4th, Garcia, Reagan, Torres. Well, earlier tonight we talked about the female all-sports player. This time, Lance Brown's Boys Player of the Year Award. Oh, excuse me, we're going to do the Bob Berry All-Sports Award, the final standings. I gave you a hint earlier about how well this school has performed in athletics. No surprise that the MacArthur High School wins it all. Nimitz closed the gap a little bit in the spring. Soccer team was very, very good. Softball, baseball, also as well. Made it close, but a really good year for the Cardinal athletic program. So congratulations to MacArthur, winning the Bob Berry All-Sports Award. So here we go, Saul Garcia, Reagan, and Torres. Garcia brings them in close, and it gets past the third baseman Griffin and the shortstop. And Garcia, as we said, he makes contact. That's why he's in the number 2 spot. Gets the base hit, and now you've got one of the best hitters in the Metroplex up with a runner aboard. And the thing, Coach, about Garcia getting on as a leadoff hitter is you've already got a guy on, no out, so it's not like you can just throw all around and hope that he, hits a bad pitch. You've got to really be cognizant of trying to get a hit or trying to get an out with this guy up there.
You bet.
He will go with the pitch. If you recall on that double, kind of an inside-out swing down the right field line. High and tight. And just like the Cardinals, if you watch Reagan in the box, I want you guys to look how close he gets to the white line with that right foot. Doesn't crowd quite as much as MacArthur, but pretty curveball there.
What a curveball, yes.
We'll watch him here as he gets into the box. Watch the senior, the future Patriot of DBU. Watch that right foot. He's touching the white line. Steps in. Low bridge, look out. Lyons says, you know, if Ross is going to throw that way to me, I can't throw that way to Ross. I think Reagan is telling the umpire about his displeasure. You're not going to give much love from the umpire, are you?
No, you're not. Hey, if you're going to get that close to the plate, you better be ready.
Yeah, watch again. It kind of came in on him a little bit. So it's 3-1. Curveball right down the pipe. Pretty pitch by Lyons. Sun has disappeared, and for that we're all grateful here in the box. Have a nice dark blue background. Got a good background for a hitter here. Jake stepped off the rubber.
We've had a lot of curveballs, so this batter.
Yeah, but this guy can hit a curveball.
I know he has.
You know, if he gets one over that, like you said, hangs up a little bit, Reagan's going to jump all over it. Lyons trying to keep Garcia honest. I'm thinking Mendoza's not going to be too aggressive with the base runner when you have somebody as good as Reagan up to bat.
You're exactly right. You don't want to take the bat out of his hand. Just want to.
High fly, center field, plenty of room for Baruder. And Reagan just got underneath that one.
He did.
So Torres steps up.
Now batting, the designated hitter, Andrew Torres.
Flashback, postseason, grand slam against Irving last time up. He can go yard. This time they send the runner. And Garcia down at second.
Sent them on a good pitch, picked out a curveball. Got there a little late. Got a real good jump.
That was Andrew's only home run of the season, and what a good one it was. He goes outside corner at that. And it's 0-2. He turned around to look at the umpire or something after I don't know what he's asking or saying. Or
It looked like he's maybe asking for catcher's interference. I don't know.
Let's watch and see if he hits the glove. Yeah, a little bit.
Looked
Did you
like
see
it
the
did.
glove?
Yeah, looked like it moved.
He's behind on the count now. Watch it from this. Yeah, it hit the.
Yeah. See, right away he turned back.
Mm-hmm. Didn't get the call, though. That one just a little bit outside. That is Garcia down at second base. Started this inning off with a base hit past the third baseman, stole second. Torres, though, has got to protect the plate. Past the catcher. Horn has to chase, and making a wide turn at third is Garcia. So now, this will be the first time that Lyons is in a position to where there's a runner in scoring position and only one out. Now you can do all sorts of things. Sack fly,
Got
you
it.
can do a safety squeeze where you just kind of bunt to first if you can lay it down, but with 2 strikes, that's probably not going to happen. But the infield's coming in. Are you surprised about that?
No, not the way this game's going. You want to cut that runner off at home.
Infield energy. Take a look defensively. Protecting the plate like he should. Torres swings at that. Viking fans making a little noise. Sitting on their hands most of the game, but pitcher's duel will do that to you. You really can't get into it. Torres hits it high to right. Is it deep enough?
It is.
Franco grabs. Here comes Garcia. Pretty good throw. Got him. Franco getting mobbed in right field. And that was a really good throw from right field to home. There's the throw. I mean, it wasn't even a one-hopper. I mean, it was on a fly.
He threw.
There's the tag.
I can turn that one down on this dugout, so it's not blasting too bad.
Yep. Perfect spot.
Man, good arm and right.
Perfect spot.
If it was off one side or the other, if it had bounced in, I mean, it had to be perfect.
It landed, that plane landed perfectly, let me tell you.
Well, we go to the 5th, just like that, sports fans, and we'll be back with more in a minute. Stay with us. Well, Coach, we've seen a little bit of everything tonight. Good pitching, some great play in the field. And just like that, we're in inning number 5 with MacArthur, who will make the playoffs, but they really want to win this game to improve their seeding and play an opponent that they could match up to a little bit better than Highland Park. But, you know, they say postseason is made for pitching, and MacArthur does have a couple of good pitchers.
Well, if they keep playing this defense like they have been, you know, good pitching and good D, you keep yourself in the game, anything can happen.
Strike call to Levi Horn, who drew the only walk against Brandon Ross tonight with 6 strikeouts after 4 innings of play. And he's ahead in the count here. Tying away. Defensively, straight away. Didn't get the call on the outside this time. And the count is even at 2-2. Gotta say, Horn's a little gutsy to hold off on that one, how things have gone so far tonight. A little nubber to second. Garcia scoops. And there's one down. You know, 3 errors were committed when these teams played earlier this week in that 5-0 win by Nimitz. Not so tonight.
Yeah, everything's been pretty solid tonight.
So there's one down. Alan Griffin, the third baseman, up. Rolled one to first back in the 2nd inning. So here we are in the 5th. It's only his 2nd appearance, and that kind of shows you what type of pitching performance we've had out of both of these starters tonight. A little below the knees. And 2-0 to Ross. So as we get deeper into this ball game, Coach, it seems to me that's when you run into that scenario where an error or sacrifice, something like that could be a difference maker.
You bet. You know, that's what you're hoping for as a coach. You know, if something goes wrong, then, you know, the pressure goes on you. That's what you want. You want pressure.
And we talk about good defense as Griffin draws the walk. Is it good defense or just bad base running that has plagued both teams tonight? Griffin draws the walk. The 2nd walk. Given
Now
to
batting
Brandon.
number 25, Felipe Garcia.
Garcia, one of the strikeout victims, looked at a called 3rd strike in the 2nd. 3rd base runner for MacArthur in this game. Williams sits up on the outside part of the plate and right where they've been calling it. That's the sweet spot tonight, Coach.
I'd just sit there as a catcher. That's all I would do. Fastball right here, right? Fastball. That's it.
That would be the target, wouldn't it?
That would be it.
Well, he's setting up again. Look at him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? It almost can work two ways. I mean, you can start that way and come in a little, you know.
That's right.
And come in.
But they're up on that plate. Every one of those MacArthur hitters are up on the plate.
You're trying to stretch out over. Throw down to first. They get him again. Ooh. Oh, my.
I thought they had him.
Yeah, Carrasco, the first baseman, he was trotting. He was trotting with the proud horse trot that you see the Stallions. He thought he had him at first. Williams not afraid to chunk it, keep those base runners honest. I mean, when he throws down to first or second, it's not a rainbow by any stretch of the imagination. It's a frozen rope. Strike three called. Garcia, a victim of another strikeout. Strikeout number 7 for Ross.
Now batting number 24, Hunter Watkins.
And Hunter Watkins, the lefty, steps in now with 2 down. And maybe MacArthur may be a little more gambling with 2 outs about trying to send a guy to second. He's got a pretty good lead off at first. Fastball. No. The ball. Back to the mound. And just like that, inning number 5 is history. They leave a base runner. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. Someone still trying to score. So we have a break. Let's go back to our Lance Brown Player of the Year awards, this time on the boys' side. We select not one, but two Scotts, Michael and Delonte Scott. The twins were all district football players for the Vikings, helped them make it into postseason play. Michael led the team in sacks with 7. You see one of his sacks right there. Also caught 22 passes for nearly 300 yards, 5 touchdowns, one of them right there. Boy, he was a good target, wasn't he? Delonte first on the team with 12 tackles for a loss and second in total. Nice job there pulling the quarterback down. And then on the basketball court, Michael was named Defensive Player of the Year in the district, averaged 8 points and 7 boards a ball game. And Delonte, also a force inside, and poured in over 8 points a game and collected nearly 9 boards. Congratulations to Michael and Delonte, our boys co-players of the year. They will move on to the Hilltop this fall to play for the SMU Mustangs in football. And you know, as great as their season was, I think about how disappointing and how close the basketball team played in the first round of postseason. They were just huge underdogs against Richardson, and they came in there and just gave them everything they had. This loss at the very end, as you see the Viking fans up and trying to get something going here in the bottom of the 5th. This is like their 7th inning stretch.
Okay.
With the mop, the magical mop. All right, Carrasco, Alphonse, and Gonzalez, the scheduled 3 against Jake Lyons.
Mr. Lyons is still staying ahead of these hitters, Rob.
Yes, he is. You can see why this Cardinal team has done so well and also have had games with so many goose eggs. Games they've won, 4 games they've lost where they couldn't score a run and just gave up 1. 2-1 to Carrasco. Batting .272, 11 RBIs.
Good curveball.
Still looking for his first extra base hit. And Carrasco thought he had that runner leaning a little bit back on the top of the 5th. 2-2 offering. And a nice pitch. Swung on and missed. Strikeout number 5 now for Jake Lyons. So Balfant steps up, the third baseman. He was a strikeout victim back in the second, so this is his second time through facing Jake. It's outside. I don't know about you, but with all this rain we've had, I've noticed the mosquitoes have started to appear.
Yes,
all of a sudden.
they have.
They were like in my office today. I'm like, I saw 3 or 4 of them. I mean, it worked. Obviously, there's holes in our building. 2-0 now. Now it's 3-0 to Ryan. You know he's taking all the way here.
Oh, yeah.
He's taking the next 2 pitches, wouldn't you say?
I would think so. You need to get a runner on.
I guarantee you, if he gets on, he's stealing, or he's going to attempt to.
Right.
If you're Jake, I'd throw one right down the middle. Miss.
There we go. Now.
That's the second walk now, given up by Jake. Gave one up in the third. So the left fielder, Gonzalez, steps in. Catcher giving some defensive signals. He's probably telling his second baseman or shortstop who's going to cover.
Right.
Because I think they've got the same idea that I do, is that the runner at first is going to take off here in a minute. And he gets out of that ball groove, and first pitch is a strike to Gonzalez.
Yeah, I want to say Coach wanted to see where everyone was going to go on that fake bunt. Now he has something on.
Pulls the bunt back. Thought about throwing to first, but now he's behind on the count, 0-2.
I believe somebody may have missed a sign on that one. I think he was supposed to steal in that one.
Do you?
Yep.
So now it's 0-2. Now Gonzalez has got to protect the plate and swing at anything that's in that area. Oh, almost had him leaning a little bit. But he didn't have that big of a lead off, though.
Right.
Again, man, it handcuffs you a little bit if you're on offense here when there's one out already and your batter's down 0-2.
He may be going here. Oh.
Balfant goes back to first as Gonzalez hanging tough, forcing Lyon to throw some more pitches. Mendoza at third. He just gave the takeoff sign. They'll never figure this sign out. It's too obvious. Fastball away. That was almost just a throwaway pitch, wasn't it?
They thought maybe, the
runner was going.
Good runner was going. There have been times where I just tell the runner to go when they miss the sign. Just go.
Just go. 1-2. There he goes. Gets away from the catcher, so that was a gimme. Balfant's now at second with one out, and the count is even at 2. So that gives the Vikings a little bit more to play with, and it causes Lions and company to tighten the screws a little bit defensively. Austin talking to Lions. There's that 1-2 pitching punch on this MacArthur team. I think Alphonse is going to take off here, do you?
No.
Going to hope for that base hit. Second
Yeah.
baseman encroaching in a little bit there. Hit to right center. Might go over the head of Franco. Nope, he gets back in a hurry. Alphonse, he decides to stay put. And Franco had him played just right. Again, it took off really fast off that bat. And every time that's happened, Franco, for the most part, has been right where he needs to be. So now that puts a little pressure on Buffington here with 2 down and 1 on to try to keep this inning alive. And if you're a Cardinal fan, you're just hoping to get out of it with no damage. Bottom of the 5th, no score. Ball outside. Lions is still nipping at that outside corner. But as the innings go on a little bit, maybe the arm's getting tired and the accuracy is just not as sharp as it was. The 1-0 swung on and missed. And the count is even. Brendan Williams is on deck, and the lefty sent one deep but foul his last at bat. He's hoping this inning will still be alive when he gets up. Watkins at second, faking the move to second. Does that move ever work?
I don't know. We just never used to use it. It's
Well,
just
they
a waste
run
of time.
Throw the hand in the glove, you know, to act
Yeah.
like you're sneaking up. Buffington waits and waits. Curveball. Low and away. So those curveballs that were falling in the early go, Coach, seems like here not quite as consistent for Jake.
Either that or the umpire has stopped calling them out
Changed
there,
the
one or
zone.
the other, yeah. And that's the worst thing you can have right now.
Outside, missed again. It's 3-1. And Lions is in danger of walking a second batter this inning. Taking all the way from Buffington unless it's one of those right down the pipe pitches.
Yeah.
Which it was. So now it's back to protecting the plate. Big pitch for Lions. That gives him the upper hand again, knowing that the batter's got to swing at anything close. The payoff pitch. Got him. So 2 strikeouts in the inning for Lions. And just like that, sports fans, we go to the 6th inning with no score in this district showdown.
With the 60th pick in the second round of the NFL draft.
Let's talk the series a little bit here, Coach, about it's been all Nimitz since 2013. Look at there.
Look at that.
3 shutouts, too.
Wow.
You can just kind of see how things have progressed. You know, Mac and Nimitz split from 11 to 12, but then 2013 is right when Nimitz turned the corner. And Mendoza took over the team and has really turned things around here for the Viking program.
Good pitching.
Yeah, good pitching. A lot of hitting there. A couple of those.
Let me tell you.
A lot of those games. This is that kind of a tip of the hat to Lions, who is pitching for MacArthur tonight. You know, keeping a team like the Vikings that, you know, have a really solid team batting average and are used to scoring a lot of runs, to shut them out through 5 innings of play.
That's a competitor. I'll tell you that. You know, you got to be a competitor to do that. Because let me tell you what, when it's hard for runs to come about, you got to stay in that zone. You got to stay there.
So here we go. Hitting things up here in the top of the 6th. It's the bottom 2 before they go to the top of the order. And Hudson swings at the first pitch offered up by Brandon Ross. You know, it's not like the batters have not been patient. We've seen a lot of full counts. We've seen some 3-0 counts. Curveball inside didn't break for Ross. One of the few times he's come inside. I mean, actually, if you think about it, both pitchers have pretty much lived on that outside part of the plate, haven't they?
Yeah, they're starting to really take advantage of that umpire. They know where it's at.
Case in point, right there. And it's 1-2. Center fielder a little bit to his left. Kind of a gap down the left field line, actually. And way outside.
Yeah, Nimitz doesn't think they're going to be able to pull him at all, so they're really shifted over.
Yeah, I mean, if he was to pull this down the line in left field, he'd be running for days.
Yeah,
Strikeout number 8 for Ross. And Evan Baruder, the number 9 hitter, before they go back to the top of the order.
Seems like Ross is getting a little bit stronger. I mean, he's still pumping it in.
Yeah, it seems like the fastball working for him more than that breaking ball here in the last couple of batters we've seen where he's missed. But all it does is set up the fastball. Yeah. So it's doing its job. Bounces that one in. Hard to believe the district season complete after tonight. We get older, the high school kids stay the same age. Outside for a ball, and it's 2-0. Both sides just looking for just maybe 2 players, one to get on in scoring position and the other to bring him home. Did he hold up in time?
I think he did.
Yep. No one asked the catcher asked the other umpire, but I didn't see the home plate umpire ask the umpire at first. And here's Ross behind 3-0 to the number 9 hitter.
He better have the takes on now.
Good pitch. It's almost money, isn't it? We've seen him down 3-0, and next pitch he throws a strike. Did it again. I mean, the last 2 pitches are identical.
And they're on the black.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's
it's almost like he toys with you for 3, and then, well, I better get serious. Strikeout number 9. And the top of the order, and Logan Austin, the shortstop. Austin batting .371. Hits that one well to right field. Buffington going back, and he grabs it right at the wall.
Good catch.
Austin gave it a pretty good swing, but there's just enough real estate for Buffington to bring that one in, Coach.
Yeah, got back there, knew right where he was at. Advantages of home field right there, knowing where you're at.
So we have finished 5.5, still no score.
We have a scoring update from Irving High School. In the top of the 6, W.T. White 3, Irving 0.
Getting an update on that Longhorn and Tiger game. And White on top 3-0. That game being played over at Irving. That's the one MacArthur has their ear to, trying to hope for a win by Irving. Nimitz in the postseason, this is all new to them. Let's think the very first time they ever went to postseason was in 2000. Lost to the Warriors of Martin. Then it took them 13 years to find a way back, and they did, losing to Marcus. The very next year, lost to Coppell in 3 games. They'll go back again this year in 2015, hopefully with better results. Here in the 6th, it'll be Brendan Williams, his brother Braden, and Sal Garcia. Don't forget now, Brendan, even though he walked in the 4th, he really got a good swing that last at bat. And as a coach, if you're hoping for another team to help you and get a win, and you hear the PA announcer say that that's not happening, what does that do to the kids?
Boy, you just see they
just a win out of their sails. Brendan, an underclassman, but as the years or as the season's gone on, he's matured, and that number 9 spot, don't let that surprise you. Looks like some Scott coaches, Highland Park coaches there. Well, they got the little radar gun on there. Slow roller. Lions will have to really hurry. No. Pulled the runner off. It'd have been close if the first baseman didn't have to jump, but Garcia had to get off the ground, and that enabled Brendan to get on at first. And now his older brother's going to step up. Here it is again, Coach. Watch. Yep. I don't think he would have got him anyway.
One advantage of being a lefty, get out of that box a little bit quicker down the.
Oh, and that made all the difference there.
Yeah.
And remember, Brendan got picked off. Remember when he got caught up in that ground? Big brother's at the plate with nobody out. Curveball, beautiful pitch. Jake Lyons with a breaking pitch on that outside part of the plate.
I'm surprised nothing's on right now here.
Got a good hitter, though. This time he gets back in time. He's not going to let that happen twice. Bottom of the 6th. We're scoreless. 9-6A baseball, crosstown rivals, classic matchup. We've seen them before. Another breaking ball. Did he hold up in time? Must have. Count is even 1-1.
He's got no one to ask.
Yeah, no one at third. Well, you could ask the Nimitz coach. You know what he's going to say.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, no, he didn't. That's what always is I found funny is once these guys go to postseason, all of a sudden there's an umpire on every base. Ball hit to center. Oh, nice play by Baruder. I thought he got a slow start and got messed up there, but he recovered in a hurry, made a diving catch in center for the first out. Boy, we've seen some great plays tonight.
Great defense tonight.
That was a pitch to hit, let me tell you. He went back, then he had to go forward, a diving catch. Well done, Baruder in center.
Nice play.
So there's one down. Garcia fakes the bunt, pulls back. Now, it would not surprise me to see him bunt with one out because Reagan is that good of a hitter. When you got a guy batting over 500,
yeah,
he'll sacrifice him over for the one opportunity. Not foul. Now he's behind on the count 0-2. How many times in your coaching career did you have a guy bunt when he was already had 2 strikes on him?
Usually my 7th, 8th, and 9th guys only.
You'd go ahead and let him bunt with 2 strikes.
Let him bunt, especially if we had somebody on base. You know,
right.
We needed him over.
Well, there you go. And he did it. And he laid down a good one, too.
Yes, he did.
So Brendan goes to second. Garcia does what he's supposed to do. And that's the sacrifice. And now you got Josh up there.
That's a great job. You know, a lot of people, if this guy scores now, a lot of people won't remember that play right there. And number 3 did a fantastic job to get him over there.
Garcia did his work. Now let's see. Coach is going to say, I want an automatic. Yeah, why not? And I don't blame him here at all, do you?
Yeah, that's without a doubt.
I mean, that's the exact reason he wanted Garcia to bunt so he could get Reagan to bring him in. And the Cardinal coach says, I'm no dummy. I've seen this guy bat. So now, because in all honesty, the way this game's going, it's almost like it's just a one-run game. Who cares if it's 2-0?
Right.
We got to get it out of this inning and make it a 0.
Yeah, that was a good call by Coach Canan here. He's seen it coming, and he's got a good hitter too. You got another good hitter too now, so you still have to make the pitch. That's the key.
Torres has gone yard once this year. Tied for second on the team in RBIs with 17. Flew out to right field in the 4th, struck out swinging in the 1st. 2 on, 2 out, bottom of the 6th. No score. Base hit to left. Hudson having a hard time with it in left. Run scores, 1-0 Vikings. Clutch piece of hitting there.
Clutch piece hit, the ball was up in the zone. He squared it up, hit a good knock out there to left field.
Coach Mendoza's about 9/10 of the way down.
Pretty excited.
So the Vikings score with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch to Carrasco. Looks at that one for a called strike.
And remember the sacrifice.
Yeah. You'll remember it.
You got it.
King Carrasco keep the inning alive. Reagan dancing around down there at second. He's still probably disheartened that he couldn't get the game-winning hit, and they walked him. But MacArthur played the numbers. That's what you do. This didn't work in their favor. Good job by Horn to keep that one in the glove and not going through his legs. Two on. Pickoff move. Nah. Reagan really didn't have that big of a lead.
No.
Maybe that's a hey, I know you're here move, but things could happen where that ball gets away and you give up another run. Grounder to second. Watkins. Gloves, tosses, inning over. But not until the Vikings score on a clutch base hit by Andrew Torres. We've been through 6, headed for 7. Our score, Nimitz 1, MacArthur 0. Back with more in a moment. As we head to the 7th inning of play, let's pause here for a moment and give thanks to our sponsor for the ICTN Game of the Week. That would be Gerald Stavely Dry Cleaning, charter sponsor of ICTN. Since day one, back in the early 80s, the Stavely family has been sponsoring Irving Athletics and the Game of the Week right here on ICTN. What a dandy tonight. A pitcher's duel, clutch hitting, Some timely defense. Everything you like to see in a well-played ball game. Nimitz with 4 hits. MacArthur with just 1. And here's the man that has the only base hit of the ball game for MacArthur, Daniel Hernandez, the DH. He will try to start things off in the top of the 7th. Fastball inside, 2-0. This game started with Daniel Weatherford, the senior, throwing the game's first pitch for Nimitz. A little tip of the cap to the senior. And then Brandon Ross came in immediately after that first pitch. And has done outstanding with 9 strikeouts and 2 walks. So does that mean Ross gets a save, Coach? He's pitched enough innings. The 2-1 offering. A slap foul. Hernandez just protecting the plate there as you take a look at the head coach for MacArthur. Viking fans making a lot of noise here the last couple of innings. It'll get louder as the game goes on here in the 7th if they can keep MacArthur at bay. What do you think of the pant look there, Coach?
I'm sorry?
What do you think of the pants?
Oh, I like them.
Instead of the straight down, the kind of the puffy look.
Yeah, I like
puffy
'em.
pants. Swung on a miss. If we had a puffy shirt, we'd have a Seinfeld episode. 1 down, Jake Lyons steps up, and boy, he's thinking to himself, man, am I going to have to do this myself?
Well, if he can get one out in front of the plate and square one up, it can be a tie ball game here real quick.
He's got the power. Hits the first pitch in the left center. Gonzalez had him played pretty well. And there's 2 down in the 7th.
Now batting number 5,
Nimitz 1 out away of taking the series against their arch rivals. And it will be the 4th straight shutout if they can do that. Brandon Ross says, let me have it. Levi Horn, the catcher, walked in the 2nd, grounded out to 2nd in the 5th. And the first offering is outside a fastball, going with the heater. Way outside. Cardinals need base runners. They need a patient batter. Need guys on board. That is outside, and very quickly, Braden Williams says, I want time. I need to talk to my pitcher.
I'm taking one till I get a strike here. Don't even think about swinging.
Sometimes emotion, adrenaline gets in the way, and you overthrow, don't you?
You bet. You see that light at the end of the tunnel here, and you want to get out of here. And
you want to be there.
Yep.
Just like that, he's behind on the count, 3-0.
If you notice on that pitch, it looked like he tried to aim it a little bit instead of just getting up and throwing.
Just doing what he does well. When he's behind 3-0, what does he do?
Right.
What does he do well? He just throws strikes. Like that. That's what he does well. He just throws strikes. It's a mind game. Strike 2. Now we're a strike away. Now, Levi might not have liked that last call, but when you're in the 7th, you got to watch the plate. You got to protect it. Anything close, you better swing. Brandon's 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. And the Vikings win a thrilling 1-0 ball game over the MacArthur Cardinals to end the district season and head into postseason on a winning note with back-to-back shutouts against their arch rivals from the other side of town. Coach, your final thoughts on tonight's game?
Well, if you like good defense, good pitching, and low scoring, come to the right place. It was a really good game.
Both teams will be headed to postseason, but it appears that MacArthur will have their hands full with the Highland Park squad. The Vikings could play a Richardson school. We'll have to see how all that falls out once everything is said and done, but check the website to see how things play out. But good luck to both the schools. A great pitching performance tonight by both, but Brandon Ross gets the win. Goes the distance, -1 pitch. 10 strikeouts, only 2 walks. Andrew Torres with a game-winning base hit. And the MacArthur Cardinals and the Nimitz Vikings end our baseball season on ICTN. Softball next week. But for now, our final score, Nimitz 1, MacArthur 0. For our coach, Dan Justris, I'm Rob Willman. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time on the ICTN Game of the Week.
Irving Game of the Week has been brought to you in part by Gerald Stavely Dry Cleaning,